How's it going, everybody? We got some very scary data mines from the upcoming Kyln Tower. It might be impossible based on the enemies that are data mined, but these are data mines, so they are subject to change, but it is a fun conversation to have, and it's also important to know what we might need to start doing to prepare for the Kyln Tower, because last time, the 3-diamond Gambit, that was a juicy reward that has affected lots of people's Crucible experience, so maybe we're going to have a similar experience here with these rewards. But if you like this video, please make sure you leave it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get into it, and we're going to start just by looking at the data mines. So we're here on Quick Draw's Discord. A link to that will be in the description below. I know Boilon made a really good video on this as well. He did the data mines as well, so I'll leave a link to his video as well. Kyln new traits: Spiderverse skill, Cabal or Underworld. So this word "or" right here is doing a lot of work. So we know it's not Spiderverse or skill. It's not like we have access to our hive mind here. It's particular Spiderverse skill. Then we Cabal or Underworld, Villain, Bio, or Undying are going to be the 3 new traits. And it looks like everything else from the previous Kyln Tower is going to be copy pasted all the way up to Cell 40. So we already have a video going through that. I'll put a link to that in the description as well if you just want to prepare the older teams, because let's be real, these later stages, if they did just add 6 new nodes with these 3 traits that we just discussed, they're going to be super hard and for a very minimal portion of the player group. So those older videos might be more relevant to a wider array of people, and we'll redo those videos as well when the Kyln Tower comes. But let's take a look at these cells. So it looks like there's going to be 6 stages, 3 new traits, some banger enemies. So each trait is going to have 2 nodes by the look of it. And I went ahead and took the liberties of just kind of formatting it a little bit differently for you guys. And so it looks like, if the data mine placement is to be believed, these will be the Spiderverse nodes. So we have node 1. We got Leader, Namor, Moonstone, Iron Patriot, Absorbing Man, Abomination, and Kang. Now there are, 7 enemies here. It's very, very unlikely this is all in one wave. It's more likely, as we saw with the last Kyln Tower, or Kyle Tower, if you will, that it's going to be probably 3 enemies drop in, you phase 3, you want to finish off either that second last enemy or that last enemy with advantageous speed bar, so that when the next group drops in, you're ahead of the game and some cooldowns ready to go. And that's kind of the gear check slash combat path. That is what Kyln Tower is all about, right? So I would expect that we don't have the 3 Cabal members drop in right away on node 1. Iron Patriot probably drops in after the fact to give you time to take out some of the Cabal members before you have to worry about that. And I would actually assume that Absorbing Man and Kang drop in at the same time, because that's going to be a ticking time bomb. Then for node 2, we're going to have Black Knight, Starbrand, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes, Red Hulk, Photon, Surfer, Captain America, and Black Cat. Now right away, when I saw Black Knight, my jaw hit the floor, because this is our Spiderverse skill available characters. Now you might notice none of these characters are good at taking out a Black Knight. So if we go ahead and we just look at Black Knight's kit, even at passive level 1, so it's not like they can nerf Black Knight the way they nerfed Apocalypse by making him unempowered. Even at passive level 1, he still spawns with taunt, defense up, immunity, and he still hits for 30% of his max life. And if we go back to the data mines, we'll see that it's supposed to be level 42, level 100 characters, which is, I don't know, terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And then if we were to look at some of the characters, like we look at Kraven, yeah, he could strip off immunity with his special, but he does not have any sort of insane focus to make sure that flips, because Black Knight is going to have 1000% focus. Pretty freaking scary, right? Actually, does he have 1000% focus? Maybe he doesn't at lower levels. Maybe I'm crazy. Nope. He gets the focus here. Oh, no, he still gets 500% extra resistance, even with passive level 1. So, good luck, nerds. Get wrecked. Yeah, I just don't know how we're supposed to get through with this team. Also, remember that the only modes that have exhaust right now are War and Crucible. So it's not like you can go in there with a burn attack and then come back in and Black Knight's not doing his thing. That's just not viable unless they put that in. So there's a couple of things I think they might have done to try and make this doable. And they would be either Black Knight's passive is just not turned on. Like, they just completely took it out of his kit, 100%. Or they give him exhaust right off the gate, or he doesn't spawn with defense up, and then Penny Parker would be a character that could come in here and get a stun with her turn 1 stun on special. And then obviously Penny Parker's offers would have to come up by then. So with Pavitra coming out yesterday, 10 days from now would be Penny Parker's offers. So there's that sort of a solution, but otherwise, this seems like an absolute nightmare. And let's just play the game where we start shuffling characters around like, well, maybe Spider-Verse skill is not the section that's going to be tackling these nodes here. Maybe instead it's going to be Cabal, right? So if I look at the Cabal character kits, there's nothing in their kits that helps them take care of a Black Knight. It's Iron Patriot giving damage to somebody like Kang that could one-shot a Black Knight. But a PvE Black Knight with juiced up stats, I'm not so sure. Underworld would literally get face rolled by a Black Knight. Like, that's just not a thing. You can't blind Black Knight. First of all, he would resist it. Secondly, his attack is unavoidable. Underworld, there is a world where, like, maybe Juggernaut could flip his immunity and get taunt up, but at the same time, he would still have defense up, and you would have to get through that somehow. Like, I just don't understand what they're thinking. And then, of course, if it's villain bio, like, Black Knight will kill your Skrull. That's what Black Knight was put in the game to do. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out against these matches. Right now, as far as making recommendations for this, guys, if that's what you want from this video, I won't make recommendations on Spider Society. The truth of the matter is, if the nodes make sense, then like Black Cat, Noir, Ghost Spider should be able to help out. Peter B. Parker, who's having his current release method right now, he would be a character you would want to jack up right away so that you could actually use his sustaining abilities, because he does have lots of healing for hero Spider-Verse characters. There's just a lot of synergy there. A lot of people are actually using him with like Tangled Web right now to get some benefit. But that's tough, right? Because you do need to have Gear Tier 18 to enter these nodes. At least it's not Gear Tier 19. That's the one positive we could take from this. But yeah, guys, I think the tower might immediately start. If they haven't severely nerfed Black Knight, and we have to take this on with any of these 3 new tags, I'm not seeing good stuff. Unless this is literally supposed to be Spider-Verse or skill. And then you could come in here and, like, Void Knight this. The benefit of if they try to do that is that would tax your Hive Mind, who we're going to find out later in this video could be useful in a lot of other places. But I digress. That looks to be the case for Spider-Verse skill if these data mines are being believed. And right there, that's probably going to stop like 99% of players. No, that's probably going to stop 100% of players, which indicates the title of this video. Whoopsies. Let's say, moving on over to Cabal or Underworld, nodes 43 and 44. This is more manageable, but still extremely difficult. Once again, Gear Tier 18 required for these. And with the Cabal team being very new, a lot of like free-to-play or Dolphin spenders, I don't know at this level of the tower if a 4 or 5-star character is going to handle it. I know last Kyle Tower, we were able to get through it with smaller Juggernauts and smaller Lizards, but boy, these floors are getting harder and harder, especially with the level cap increase. All right, so nodes 43, we got Red Goblin, who's a slower character. We have Craven, who at 125 is not slow. Rhino's pretty slow. Spider Slayer, I believe, is 122. So right, I'm just looking at the first 4 characters that are data mined, and right away it's like Cabal members, they're gonna have to at least take a hit from Craven and Spider Slayer if Spider Slayer drops them at the same time before Iron Patriot would come in and potentially get crits and help the snowball start. So that'd be really hard for the Cabal team to get going, but doable. Then we got Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Lizard, and Vulture. At least there's no heroes for Vulture to get speed bar off of. This would be doable. It would be very tough. It'd probably be a lot of resets. You're going to be leaning on your leader big time. I don't know if leader is going to have to become a healer just for this mode. We'll have to wait and see. Because the Underworld team sucks. Using Underworld on this is not going to be viable. They're so stat crept at this point. They're so reliant on their war buffs. I think it would be a terrible idea to bring in Underworld. But I could be mistaken. I know my entire Underworld team is Gear Tier 18, so we'll probably try some variations, but not liking that idea. Node 44, we have Hela. We got Lizard, Zombie Iron Man, Morbius, Dr. Voodoo, Green Goblin Classic, Robbie Reyes, and Zombie Juggernaut, or Zombinaut, as I like to call him. That's a lot of bleeds to feed into the Zombie Iron Man passive. It's a lot of fast characters, which is scary for the Cabal team. but at least like Hela's decently slow. Zombie Iron Man's pretty slow outside of war. You'll have to eat a lizard hit, and then your Cabal team would have to get a crit, get some speed bars, start snowballing from there. And then you would have to snowball this, right? Because if you were Robbie Reyes, starts popping off on you, these three guys, they melt. They already melt in their game mode, Crucible, if Robbie Reyes is on even footing with them. So I would be very, very concerned with them. And then, yeah, the Underworld team, let's not kid ourselves, guys. The blind from Taskmaster, there's RNG components with how many people it blinds as well. So if you land a blind on the Rhino, that would be really bad for you. And the blinds on the other people, like Robbie Reyes, lots of unavoidable attacks. Goblin Classic, unavoidable. Chase, thank you so much for the sub. It would be an absolute gong show. So it's going to be the 3 Cabal members. Even at like 4 stars, a Gear Tier 18 Cabal member is going to give you so much more value than a Gear Tier 18 Underworld member will give you, especially in the longevity of the game. Kind of another very, very scary section. But this is going to be the tail end of the Kyln Tower. So we'll have to see how that goes. Let me know what you think about these teams, particularly their 3 newest teams in the game, right? Being kind of slotted in over here. I guess the next section's not. The next section looks really good, so let's go talk about that. All right, that's going to lead us to Undying or Villain Bio. Apparently, Villain Bio is going to get 2 different spots, because Villain Bio is also what the last 2 or 3 nodes of the former Kyln Tower, which was just copy-pasted. So this is actually not bad whatsoever. With node 45, you know, we got the core, we got Cosmic Nova, Green Goblin Classic, Red Hulk, Apocalypse, Rogue, Archangel. So it seems like it would be tough, but with that Villain Bio tag, you gotta remember, with the Villain Bio tag comes a very particular character, Mr. Super Skrull himself. And with 2 villains, he's gonna be doing 60% rewind, which is really, really powerful. And then he'll have offense up. You'll line up the ultimates into with having his offense up and just start to wreck people. And that's what we did last Kyln Tower when we had to face Apocalypse on that last node, right? So it's kind of going to be a copy paste of what we did last time, just preparation wise, except now we have much, much better characters to pair with our Skrull, especially in, well, both of these nodes. Like in 46, it looks very, very easy to me. Unless Hardlight and Black Cat, for whatever reason, spawn right away, which that's just not the way the data mine is structured right now. I think this would be very, very easy, because what ends up happening, if we go over to our website, the Undying team, like, we just don't use them, especially on that last node with the Hive Mind characters, because don't use Greg into a Carnage, right? That's a terrible idea. Instead, we would just lean into the Villain Biotech. We would have Super Skrull, we would have Carnage, and we would have Red Goblin. So Super Skrull will set the stage by rewinding, like node 46. He would set the stage by rewinding the enemy Void Knight. You would make him a Raider, so there's a vulnerable up. You would Carnage ultimate into the Void Knight, push him low, then your Red Goblin would pop off. It would literally just be a star and gear check at that point. And one that's not very hard to pass, because the Hive Mind characters, though powerful, are pretty squishy. So they're going to get pushed. And then your Carnage and your Red Goblin start popping off. Your Skrull is getting a bunch of energy every time something happens. The Red Goblin has kind of a revive for the Carnage. It would be very easy. Node 45 would be a little bit tougher, I guess. But I would still go with Carnage, Red Goblin to get through this. Just snowball, snowball, snowball. You know, we got the Disrupt from Carnage now for somebody like the Rogue. Lots of damage, lots of debuff spreading ability blocks and stuff like that. So this one wouldn't be that bad at all, in my opinion. I mean, it would be Reset City. All these are going to be Reset City, right? But we'll see how it goes. The big concern, let's not joke ourselves. The biggest concern is going to be, are these actually the Spiderverse nodes? Because if these are the Spiderverse nodes, every single player is in trouble. And also, this would be their way of selling more Penny Parker. So we already have Peter B. Parker. His event is happening. You'll probably need him for sustain here. Spider-Man Pivitra, very, very good character. But if he has to face a Black Knight, he's just going to kill himself into the Black Knight. Penny Parker is the only character who they have the path to, and for all these characters, by the way, they have the path to make Penny Parker be like a mandatory buy and build for this. Because if they do something silly, like the Black Knight doesn't spawn with defense up and immunity, then Penny can come in here and stun. And then you can try and get a snowball and go from there. Though I will say, snowballing against a Robbie Reyes, a Red Hulk, and a Black Cat with our Spider Society or Spiderverse skill team, I don't know if the damage is going to be there. Very interested to know how this is going to shake out. Very interested to know what you guys are thinking. Again, big shout out to the Discord, quick draws Discord. That'll be linked in the description below, as well as Boilon's video. He went over this yesterday. I love the Kyln Tower. I love the PvE content. I'm a little bit bummed out about just the Black Knight that's there. I'm also bummed out that blindsided by this as well. If it's coming that quickly, which we do know that in the blog they will be giving the official information on the Kyln Tower. Anyway, guys, what do you think? Is the Kyln Tower going to be impossible? Is Peter B. Parker going to be mandatory because you're going to need to have some sustain for those crazy Spiderverse nodes? I'm very interested to know your opinion in the comment section below. But for now, stay happy, healthy, have fun. Like, share, and subscribe to the video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun. And I'll see you in the next one.